Welcome to the Evolve Effect podcast. I'm Anna.
I'm Kirsten.
And we're here today to talk to real people with real talk.
With real solutions. So enjoy the episode. You'll get to hear from amazing people first leaders about what's working, what's not, and how we are truly evolving the world of work.
See you soon.
Welcome to the Evolve Effect. I am with Vardan, and we are talking about hiring in the high volume blue collar space. So you're going to say it even better than me. So tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, at First Work, our goal is really to serve individuals who are in that blue collar, pink collar, frontline set of industries where there's often a lot of churn, a lot of administrative overhead, a lot of compliance and bureaucracy, all of which slow down an ability for a candidate to get into good work and get into those roles where they get paid effectively.
Okay, perfect. And your platform, you're dealing with a diverse population from, early career to more seasoned. Any tricks or hacks on how you get them to adopt the platform? I'm sure from a customer user experience, you're very intentional around the steps, right? Knowing the different generations that would be accessing it.
100%. And one of the things that we're seeing, number one, it's a very diverse range of individuals. Mm-hmm. And then also to think about the nature of the roles that we're serving. People who are, if they're in healthcare or if they're in logistics, they're often on the road, they're often not at their desk. So mobile first is actually a really important thing about what we're doing.
Yes.
And I think with the way the tech is set up today is, you can have a lot of content delivered through a mobile phone. And one of the big things about a phone is it's also a phone, right? So we have voice agents that call and nudge candidates through the process. If they have any questions, they can help them through. And the idea is you should be able to do everything on your phone, through text, through voice, through message, without sitting down on a computer. I think that's where you really find the ability to meet workers where they are.
Okay. And how does that impact talent and recruiting teams? I would imagine it frees them up to, focus on more sourcing because you have this support tool like nudging and making sure, because oftentimes recruiters get tasked with, can I have your social and your ID and, all the things to get you set up in payroll?
And 100%, that's really our bread and butter, right?
We appreciate that.
And it's like, no one got into recruitment to be a lawyer. You don't want
or a benefits person or all the other things that
and on the same side, as a candidate, no one got into nursing to be a lawyer, right? You don't want to be spending all of your time chasing up, following up.
Yeah.
You know better than anyone, right? You as a candidate maybe have the best of intentions, you're in a rush, you upload something that's out of date, it's expired, you get a call 5 days later. More importantly than that, though, it's one of the big things that we find is really exciting. It's about the ability to meet the worker where they are and give them an experience that is differentiated to what they would have had.
And meeting people where they are is prioritizing people first leadership and humanity, in my opinion, and building tools that allow the recruitment team and the HR teams to really focus on engagement, onboarding, and really helping them be the best employee that they can be, which is amazing. I feel like what separates you from some of the other platforms I'm familiar with is the agentic piece that really helps that workflow and onboarding process. What is your favorite component of the software, or what are you super jazzed about?
That is a really hard question. I think for me, one of the things that I take a lot of pride in and I think is a real differentiator is how our platform has been designed AI native from day one, right? And a big part of that is we think of it as a layer. So it's infrastructure that can be dropped in on top of your existing ATS, on top of your existing CRM, HRIS. There's no need to rip and replace. It is an agent layer. So we have deployments that can, take 24 to 72 hours to go live.
Nice.
You can be interested and have a scoping conversation on Monday and see the impact of the platform in a real world situation by Thursday. I I think that's the difference of AI native. And that makes it a lot easier for companies that maybe are starting off with their AI journey to think about how to get this.
Well, and I'm gonna make an assumption and I guess be kind of biased, but in the, blue collar space, you're dealing with folks that are a little more traditional
Yeah.
and probably slower to adopt AI. So being able to come in and instill that confidence and the value of the time is critical, right? Because they're making all the other decisions, trying to scale.
They've got a million things going
Right.
on,
Yes.
and once again, they want to have a
They're
system
just
that
like, I want my recruiting team to recruit and be good.
exactly. And you can set it up, you can try it out, you can see. All right, we've
Okay.
had 30, 60, 90 days of data.
Yeah,
We're seeing,
okay.
and once again, I think the importance of this segment is if you think about the counterfactual. With the platform that we've set up, a prospective candidate can get AI-assisted support, guidance. One of our goals is to give a.
So it's pre-hire and post-hire.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
from first click to first shift. It's first word.
First click to first shift. I like it.
Yeah, so we do pre-screening, qualification, onboarding, compliance,
Okay.
all of the bureaucratic, messy,
Right. We were
time-consuming
talking
work.
about the CDL stuff.
Exactly, all of that stuff. And once again, the counterfactual for these candidates is they would maybe submit something through a static platform. It gets sent to a
Smart sheets is
Yeah.
what I.
exactly. And we encourage people. One of the big things that we're seeing a shift in is from systems of record to systems of action. We want the system to act in real time.
Yes.
So you as a candidate get feedback on the documents as you upload them. You get feedback on
awesome.
what you're putting in. Hey, is
And
this
that's
the right?
a higher touch experience for the, then it doesn't burden the recruiters with hyper personalizing, like getting
Yeah.
back to people and stuff like that. What about, I decide I'm going to implement this in my company. The turnaround is fast. What about the implementation for the employee population? Do you provide, trainings, SOPs, guidance on how the leaders of the teams should, drive adoption?
100%. So we use a forward deploy engineer model. So
Okay.
what that means is we'll sit down with the organizations that we partner with.
Okay.
We do a lot of work in Slack channels.
Okay.
If they're not on Slack, we'll buy them licenses and get them on Slack
Oh,
or Teams
beautiful.
or something like
Okay.
that. And
Yeah.
so you got a co-collaboration workspace. Then
Okay.
they can send over their SOPs. We can review them. So this is, I think, something that's really important in this AI first era, right? Like a lot of
Yeah.
companies are willing to sell a quick wrapper that you
Yeah.
just chuck and play. Our view is the real value is going to attribute, or it's going to accrue to players that can sit down and help take problems away. And that comes
Yeah.
from being deeply integrated to the company, to the data, to understanding all those things.
Absolutely. So before you actually, someone purchases the platform, how much market research, due diligence are you spending with the decision makers in the teams and, evaluating, their entire infrastructure, if you will?
It's great. I think it depends. Our solution sits across a number of different product categories.
Right.
Some of those, we've had conversations where it might be a publicly traded company, and we've gone from a first meeting to a signed contract in 3 conversations because they saw the product, they saw the demo, it
Saw the
directly
value.
fit what they were looking for at that point in time.
Yeah.
For others, it might be a bit more of a consultative approach, which we find a lot more exciting as well, because
Yeah.
then we can show exactly how it's going to integrate in.
Mhm.
Our goal is super simple, and this is, I sit down with my engineering team every morning. I sit
Okay.
down with our commercial team, and I put this forward to them, which is I want us to be in a situation where, and I think we're there in 2026.
Mhm.
A welder in Wisconsin is having a more white glove, bespoke hiring and onboarding experience
Mhm.
than a banker at Goldman Sachs in New York.
100%.
And I say that we're a New York-based company, but so I'm not hitting New York. I think it's just the technology today allows you to do that.
That is amazing. Yeah. And ultimately, that helps individuals feel seen, heard, and understood,
Yep.
right? Because they're having these different touch points. And whether it is agentic or, a funnel per se, then they still are informed, because job seekers and employees, they don't want to be left in the dark and not be informed. Because when you're an uninformed job seeker or employee, then, you start making up whatever in your mind, and that leads to attrition.
And I think in particular with this industry, one of the, I keep going back to what is the counterfactual? We are working with companies that are doing a huge amount of hiring and onboarding for, if you think about data center projects, if you
That's
think
my
about
world.
infrastructure,
Yeah.
reverse swapping, and very, very distinct to white collar in the sense that, candidates historically have had quite fragmented and in many ways, not the most empathetic hiring and onboarding
And
conversations.
they don't trust a lot of outreach and messaging and things like that. So that's also an important component is verification too. Do you guys have that component?
We do a huge amount of verification. And
Okay.
once again, trying to make it as seamless from the candidate side as possible. So, you can have it set up so a candidate might upload a piece of documentation.
The recipe for tapas, like I had.
And there we go. And we will tell them real time, hey, like, thank you so much for this recipe for tapas.
I'm not sure if you know.
But what we need is your OSHA card.
Yeah, exactly.
And you were in a rush, you did it on your phone, but you get the guidance in real time. But we'll take that information and we'll use that to run multiple checks across the internet for the candidate's relevant qualifications. So they don't have to go and do that themselves. The agents are doing it in the background and pulling that work. So from a candidate side, you just upload a few pieces of information and then we'll consolidate all of the rest on your behalf. The other amazing thing is if you think about, we spend a lot of time with our clients who are thinking about, what in these industries, what is a CV, what is the right way to...
I mean, some days I just want to light it on fire, and then other days I'm like, it's as old as time, and will it ever go away? Like, what is it going to look like for my daughter or her daughter, or son in the future, And
a lot of the industries, the CV never really took off. So the fact that they can have a, set of conversational interactions with a tool that can speak to them, that they can engage with, that they can share a lot more context into their work history than a static platform. Also allows the hiring company to allocate them more effectively. We're working with companies that are doing data center hiring, and they might say, we thought this candidate was a level 2 engineer based on the paperwork that they showed us. We got on the phone with them and we realized very quickly they're actually a level 4 engineer. We can put them in a much higher ranked position because their CV was pretty out of date and didn't have much information. We grilled them, and some of these companies, we ran them through a series of questions. And some companies are using AI for that now. That's right. It really allows you to, once again, give the candidate a better experience, because historically companies would not have an hour, 90 minutes per candidate for high volume roles to get all the information. But with AI, they can get all the information from the candidate and then use that to put them maybe at a higher or significantly higher role than
Well, not honestly, like I'm thinking from a recruiting standpoint, you're getting all that information. That really accelerates better interview. I mean, I still believe that I wouldn't want my candidates going through too many interviews without talking to a human.
100%. I feel maximum one.
Okay, we're on the same page there.
Yeah.
I know you have a little bit of a time limit, so I want to make sure we're good. Okay. In regards to change management, implementing something like this within an organization, in your opinion, with your expertise and clients that you've worked with, what does good change look like in this kind of container?
Yeah, because it's a really good question. I think we've seen a lot of different versions of change.
Right.
Change management lives in a spectrum. I think there is a consistent set of principles that we see the best performing companies.
Okay, that's a great way to go this direction.
and I think, what we see time and time again is the companies that are doing a very good job, they start off with a approach of, these are the metrics that we think are important. And we would like to find a way to move them in this direction. And that already puts you in the top 25%. You're not trying something for the sake of trying it. You're trying to get to an outcome.
Okay.
And that allows you to set up, whether it's a pilot or a set of experiments or a set of, partnership discussions focused around moving those metrics. So, one of the metrics that we find ultra important is time to hire.
Time to hire, especially in high volume.
High volume, right? Why is it taking 14 days for something that could be done in 2?
Yeah. And I've seen situations where you have, in retail, they give you the QR code and, Gen X and older would walk in and be like, I want to apply, right? And they kind of kick them back to the QR code, and then they get lost in the ATS, right? With no communication, and you have a completely viable policeman that wants to work at the flooring company that can't get a call back. And so having a software like that also sounds like it does a little bit of candidate nourishing. I mean, the respect of actually getting an answer of where we are in the process and, how you rank and what's next is so critical.
100%. We've got clients that we work with where, we've set up a waterfall of communications is how we think about it, where, candidate starts an application, they come in through a job board, maybe they get 60% of the way through, 70% of the way through.
Yeah.
They get to a very tricky set of paperwork because it's, loads of regulations, and then they drop out. And then that happens millions of times in America, say. Our system is set up so that, we can send a follow-up call to that candidate the next day. And then a follow-up text and the text will have a magic link being like, hey, you got to this point. If you have any questions, click this button and we'll have someone talk you through how to get through it. Or if you want to resume your application, go over here. So it's about you say nudging, nourishing, keeping
It's
them
like hard
engaged.
to get, like, people used to not look in their ATS for actual candidates. And I'm like, you're leaving money on the table. These are people that have already expressed an interest. Why are we going back out to LinkedIn or wherever to find that talent?
And this is, to me, the exciting about AI when it comes to the space that we're working in.
We're like geeking out on it. I'm like, I know we have to wrap this up. Sorry.
It's like, and this is, if you think about the world we live in, right? Like, if you're in an exec search, that's what exists. There is white glove, bespoke. People are spending all of their time nourishing, engaging. Any questions? Let's hop on a call. Let's get there. And that's amazing if you're a C-suite or a SVP for a Fortune 500. How do we bring that quality of care to the rest of the market?
Yes.
How do we bring it to that? Once again, if you are looking to move to a much better role in manufacturing in Ohio, you're getting your questions answered. You're able to, if there's some confusion, get certainty that day on what the requirements are, what the salary is.
Employer brand as well, which is so important because, once you break trust with a candidate or an employee, like, they're done. Peace out.
And this is where the jobs of the future are going to be, right?
100%. And I think if I had a magic wand or I was a fortune teller, you're super well positioned. Where I've watched the swings and hiring recruiters and just the craziness that we've seen, that there's going to be a big gap, especially in this blue collar, even more. And organizations are not thinking far ahead enough, and being able to get access to a slick, efficient, not hard to implement tool will, be extraordinarily valuable. So I'm excited for you.
So much,
And, sending good vibes your way.
Appreciate it.
If there was like one message you wanted to send out to, all organizations right now, what would that be in regards to, hiring the world of work, and that you want them to take action on this year?
I think so. A million messages, but I'd say it boils down to quantify things.
Okay.
You cannot move what you cannot measure, and I think we've seen a lot of companies now. AI is unlocking huge potential if you have the data and technical infrastructure to take advantage of it. And what we're seeing is companies that are, AI native, data native. They're giving, to your point, candidates an experience that is 10 times richer at a fraction of the cost. And the best candidates are going to gravitate to those companies. So you're going to see a gap emerge, and that gap is going to compound because if you're AI native and using data, you're using it to constantly improve how you engage with candidates. And if you're
that
not,
accelerates learning, that accelerates the opportunity. Amazing.
There's a universe where there's, in many ways, like the best and the rest. And I think for companies that want to stick and maintain themselves as the best, start thinking about data, start thinking about how you want to implement the technology the right way. There's companies out there, obviously we're more than happy to help out, but there's plenty out there that can do that. And that's how you build a foundation for the next 5 years.
Amazing. Well, wishing you all the luck in the future, and thank you for evolving the world of work with us, and look forward to seeing, the impact that you and your team continue to make.
Thank you so much.
All right.